But I did want to take this opportunity to actually give you some background. And I jotted down some notes here that I wanted to relate to Ben and Kai. And I'm going to relate a few instances to you all, thank you, a few instances to you all to convince you and prove to you that both Ben and Kai are very special people. All right, so we'll start with Ben. All right, so Ben, you know, we would love to take family vacations when the kids were growing up, and we would love camping vacations where we, you know, load up the car and we take the tent and we go camping at various locations. Well, one time we went to Disney World with the kids. Oh, Disney World's the greatest thing. So we were actually arrived, and some of you may know Disney World actually has a campground. It's called Fort Wilderness. And so we set up our tent. We were in the process of setting up our tent in the campsite as these clouds were rolling in. And the clouds got closer and closer, and I was sitting at the tent, and Janine was getting the food, and we were going to cook dinner. The clouds are coming closer and closer. I said to Ben, go collect some kindling. We'll have a fire, we'll make s'mores, it's going to be good. Clouds are coming close, thunder is starting, and all of a sudden, about, I'd say, 10 feet from Ben, lightning strikes a tree. God, boom, this incredible blast. And, you know, my eyes go wide, and I look at Ben, and Ben says, "What was that?" And then he said, "What's for dinner?" The next thing I want to tell you about my son Ben is that a few years ago he got the opportunity with a friend to go to Nepal, and he went to Nepal in order to work as part of a nonprofit who was these folks were building a school for school children in very rural Nepal, way out there. He took a plane to get to the place, and he didn't tell us. He told us afterwards that the airport that he landed in was denoted as the most dangerous airport in the world, because you're flying through the mountains, the treacherous winds, and then the airport, and then there's the airport, and you have to do one of these, hit the runway, which is down, and slam on the brakes. And then the townspeople are on either side on the lawn chairs looking at the plane land. That's I guess their main fun for the day. But he made it, and he built this, he helped build this school for the kids in Nepal. And the town was very appreciative of all the work that the folks did. And they actually threw a party for him and his friends, and actually named him a honorary Nepalese deity. That's special. That's special. Yes. So when Ben was in high school, he became interested in a program that the English department was putting on. And this is a program where, after school, one night in one of the semesters, they would hold an event called Java Jive. And in Java Jive, what would happen? There's some Java Jive alumni over there. And this is where, you know, they have a coffee house, it's Java Jive. They invite the parents in, they invite their friends and the school kids into Java Jive, and what the students would do would they perform. But it's mainly things like singing or dance or poetry. And, you know, then I go through it. And by the way, I never did very well in English. I don't understand poetry. And when I saw Ben come up and he was going to read a poem, I thought to myself, whoa, a poem? What is that all about? But I got to tell you, this poem, I'm back. So this poem was one of the most touching, heartfelt poems that I'd ever heard. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I mean, it was a great poem. It was a type of poem you hear it and you get weak in the knees. Literally, I had to sit down. It was just absolutely fabulous. So, that tells you, Kai, that your husband now, just think about this, here's a man who is, in a way, has lightning coming from his fingertips. He's an honorary deity. It's not, how do you get better than that? And he writes incredible poetry that, that you just want to come from someone who's a partner of yours. So, so Ben, you're a special person to me, and everyone in the room who knows you. Now, Kai. Obviously, I've not known Kai as long as I've known him. But a couple of things I want to say about Kai is that, a little history. So Kai and Ben met at a Gold's Gym, all right? So Kai was the receptionist, and Ben was the guy, he's working out late, and it's getting dark, and it's almost closing time, and closing time comes, and he's the last one in the gym, and Kai's there. Well, she doesn't have a car, and it starts to rain. It starts to rain hard, and Kai knows that she's got to walk home. Now, this is very interesting because Kai's a bit of a shy person in a way, but she asks Ben, as Ben's walking out the door, Can you give me a ride home, please? And Ben, being a smart guy that he is, sees that Kai's beautiful, says to himself, she probably shouldn't ask a stranger. Yes! So that's actually how they met. The other thing I want to say about Kai is she's really one of the most mature young ladies that I know. I know it may not sound good to you, but it's actually true in that she's cool and has grace under pressure. Now, here's another story. And this happened this week. So they go to the marriage license bureau to get their marriage license over where we live in New City. And and they go in there, and there's a clerk behind the counter, and we'd like to get married, we looked on the website, and we have all the material, here's the passport, Kai's passport, and then you say, where's Kai's birth certificate? Well, it's not on the website. No, we need a birth certificate, or you can't get married. Now, Kai's birth certificate is in Africa. Well, I guess she had a copy back in college. So Kai says to the clerk, well, I guess I do have a copy and can get it here, but it's embossed. Or, no, laminated. It's laminated. Will that be? No, can't take it. No, sorry, can't get married. But, Kai is, grace under pressure, and so, she comes home, and Ben is kind of stoop-shouldered when he walks in the door. And, but Kai is, it'll work out. It's going to work out. And sure enough, it did work out. As it turns out, they got the laminated, where you can't really feel the embossing, maybe a little bit. You can feel the embossing on the official birth certificate document. Showed it to the same lady who said, oh, this is fine. No problem. And so that's why we're here today. So, Ben and Kai, you're both special people. You have impressed your friends and your family gathered here in this room with both your regard for others and your regard for each other. John Williams music really does it to me. Finally, I want to know that I speak for Kai, your family in Kenya, and for Janine and myself, and for everyone here today when I say, may you always be lovers and best friends.